If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
We're joined by head football coach of Sylacauga Aggies, Coach Andrew Zhao. And Coach, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Busy time of the year,
Definitely busy. Definitely busy, yeah.
Fall camp started Monday. How's it going so far?
It's going well. We've done a good job. I think the kids have really responded the last week and a half or so. And we're looking to move our practice times, though, to move them a little bit because of upcoming teachers starting school. Mm-hmm. So we're looking to move our times, but our kids have responded. Our coaches have responded. I think we're doing a pretty good job right now of implementing what we can put in, and I think the kids are really working hard towards that. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Before we get any further, several schools have announced that they're either postponing their season to a further date in the season or canceling it altogether. Yeah. Your thoughts on that?
Man, it's tough. I think the biggest thing I think kids we have to look at is our safety. Mm-hmm. And I have mixed feelings. I really do. I'm anxious and want to play and ready to coach and ready to get these boys out there and play some football. But at the same time, I'm sort of leery of what we're going to do or what's going to happen and what's going to happen if we start. There are things that still can happen if we don't play football. You can get many cases regardless, but I have mixed feelings. I really want to get out there, but our admin and the leaders and powers that be will make sure we do what we're supposed to. And so as we tell the players, it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. So we rather be prepared, and once that time comes, they'll make a decision and we'll act accordingly. And it's things that are out of our control. So we're just going to do what we can.
I've talked to a number of coaches, not just from this particular area, but across the state, and some anticipating a start on time, but their concern is finishing the season.
Finishing the season will be an issue. I think I was speaking to a coach just about 5:30 this morning as I was coming in, and we were having that same discussion. I think once you start, I think you have to realize and be aware that, hey, we got to get what we can while we can and enjoy it while you can. I really feel for our seniors because they may or may not have a season. My son, he's a track kid, and he was running his senior year, and senior year was over with before he got started. So that was, I saw that firsthand and saw how it affected him a little bit. But overall, I think our seniors are impacted the most if we do not play. But at the same time, I think they understand too about our safety.
Maybe it puts a little more pressure on to win these early games, because the unknown down the line.
That's right. You really want to win these early games, and you may have to have senior night early during the year. You may have to have, I don't know if you will need to have homecoming, but you need to have senior night, I think, maybe early this year. Now, I haven't discussed that with our admin or our powers that be, but I think that'll be important that we do have let our seniors be recognized earlier.
So with the changes, the social distancing and things like that, you still got to coach football.
Yeah.
How much time have you spent with your assistant coaches and honing this thing and getting ready for the kids to come in?
Well, we have to have meetings about that. We met Monday about how practice schedule is going to flow, and we met back in the summer. It was about how our workouts is going to flow through the weight room and through outside. So it's tough. We're constantly telling kids to keep your distance from each other, and I think that's been probably the toughest thing. And then how do we keep coaching kids? And every so often we break and say, hey, look, get away from each other. So and football is tough. Football because we're it's a contact sport, and we're definitely wanting to be in close proximity of each other. So it's been tough. It's been tough at times, but it's definitely one of those things that's sort of new of keeping social distancing from one another. And our kids are starting to understand it, but they got to think about it. They're 16, 17-year-old boys, and they're always pushing and shoving and saying, hitting each other. So our biggest thing as coaches is really understand the times we're in and adjust. And that's the biggest thing I think we need to do.
And I haven't been a coach, but I've been in the business world, and from one job to another is never real easy. You come from coaching one place, come to another, and then you face the COVID-19. That's got to be keeping a lot of balls in the air for you.
It does. I think not having a spring was tough. It's one of those things where I've learned over the years as a coach to enjoy the moments, the times that you have with people. I think God's put me in different spots and to impact lives. And if I continue to do that, there's no telling where I end up. But with a situation like this, to get a chance to go to a new school and then not to be able to see your kids for a few months.
And you want to mold those relationships.
Exactly.
You know?
And someone asked me that the other day. I said the biggest thing is not having those relationships early so they trust me and going through the spring. That's where we build our trust and that we build our team chemistry. And then the summertime is when we really grind it out. And even the summer has been sort of off schedule a little bit because of so many things having to be implemented as far as keeping your social distancing and then worrying that you may have to shut down if someone tests positive. So there's a lot of things going through your head. And but as coaches, as athletes, or as someone myself, I can adapt and I'll roll with the punches. And I try not to stress about the things that I can't control.
Let's get to the nuts and bolts of the football season now. Okay. You have gotten your team in there, and how have you found it so far? The numbers for your kids, and what can we expect this fall?
Our numbers have been good. I think they were better when we first started in June, and then we had the 4th of July break, and then our numbers sort of tailed off a little bit. We had vacations. We have our numbers drop, but I'm looking excited. I think we were right at 50 plus kids. I would love that number to be around 60, 65 because during the season or right before the season starts, you're going to probably lose some kids who may not want to play. So I love that number to be higher now, but they're not. And I think we've done a good job. Our kids have done a good job of understanding who we are and our guys who are going to be there. So I'm excited for our season. I think our guys have worked hard. I think they've really pushed themselves, and I will ask more. I'm gonna ask for more from them, from the coaches, and we have to go out there and improve what we say we're gonna do, and that's win football games. But overall, I think my biggest job is to build young men from a standpoint of from a coach, and if I do that, I think we win every day. So I'm looking forward to that and improving them as young men, and then winning is plus for us.
You've got all these guidelines and social distancing and stuff, and then you put the pads on.
Yeah. So we're looking for that. That's next week. Hopefully our guys are ready for it. Like they didn't get it in the spring, and so it'll be new for some of the younger guys for sure. Some of the freshmen and sophomores that may not have played before have really come out, and they're ready in helmets and shorts. But once the pads come on, it's a little different. And,
even different sounds when you got the pads on.
It's definitely a different sound of practice. The intensity is different. I think coaches get a little more amped up. Some of the older players hadn't hit anyone in a while, so they're a little more amped up. So you got to sort of, pull the reins back on them a little bit, tell them to hold up a little bit. But our kids are excited for that as well. So we're looking forward to it next week. I think our guys will do a good job of taking care of each other. The biggest thing when you're at a school this size is take care of each other in practice, because some kids want to take that one hit of a kid coming across the middle, and I'm harping on, hey, look, take care of your player. And if that's someone else on another team, hey, take him out. But with your own,
this is your brother.
Take care of your family. So and even when the kids are holding up the little pads, man, they're getting blasted. So I'm telling my older kids, hey, look, take care of him, man. I know he's younger, but take care of him.
Yeah. So. You got the 0-week game coming up in August. When is that?
August 21st. We're up against Leeds. It's going to be a tough opponent. I think Coach Hood has done a great job wherever he's been. He's a vet for sure. He understands the game, and I'm looking forward to competing. But I've coached against Leeds before. They've always had tough teams, but I'm definitely looking forward to that game. And I think our guys eventually get there as well. But I'm still trying to implement scheme.
Talk about that a little bit. What you're trying to do now?
We're going to be a multiple team. We're spread, but we can be a run-oriented team. If whatever our team can do, that's what we're going to do. Whatever we're doing well at the time, and whatever we feel comfortable. I was meeting with Coach Steers this morning about that. And hey, look, give me the things that you want. You're the offensive line coach. Give me what you want. up front, and he and Coach Strickland are really, Coach Strickland's moved to running backs, but on the offensive side, we're definitely going to be a multiple type of offense.
In years past, Sylacauga has been a run-first offense, and have had a lot of perennial state players who've done really well at running back. Where does that play into your scheme?
Oh, it plays a lot. I mean, we're still going to run the ball. You still have a great back in Malik Pope, who's and the guys that are around him, and Dax and Brownfield. Those guys are around him. They're going to do a good job as running the ball as well. But our offensive line is going to be one of our major factors this year, and they're going to be a plus for us every game. So yeah, we're going to still run the ball. There's no doubt about that, and I'm looking for a big season out of Pope in our run game.
He's a good one.
He's a really good one. I've already made the statement to our linemen, hey, we can get a certain amount of yards every week, man. I think Coach Langham is going to give you guys pancakes. So, and I'll be looking forward to that as well. So we are going to run the ball. There's no doubt about that. But we just have to be able to, keep people off of our neck a little bit when it comes to them putting 9, 10 guys in the box.
Yeah, and you mentioned Coach Langham, Antonio Langham. A lot of you remember him from his days at Alabama as well. And he brings something to your staff that you were really looking for too. Yeah,
he has he's charismatic. I mean, everyone loves him. Being around him, he's done an outstanding job with me over the years of getting those DBs and that secondary, ready to go from a technical standpoint. He's smart. He understands the game, understands kids, understands the times. He's probably the cool uncle on the team, and I'm the grouchy old dad at times. But he's definitely one of those guys who I feel like I got to have in my corner because he brings so much more than just football too. He brings that genuine care for kids, and he's done an outstanding job over the years. And I look forward to continuing to work with him. And he's a good one. Getting back to the social distancing, and it is not just the social distancing, it's with a football team, you got timeouts, you've got kids on the sideline during a game. How is that going to play out? Well, they've implemented a few rules. Maybe the timeouts can be a little bit longer, where we can spread out a little bit more. The sideline is going to look a little different. We're going to be able to spread out from 10 to 10. The coaches' box is still the same, so the coaches can't be down to the 10-yard line. So I thought that was smart of Coach Savarese and those guys. But when you get excited, you can't get down there either. Yeah, exactly. So you got to stay where you are. I thought about putting a player down there with a headset on, so help me out. But no, I think the social distancing on the sideline is going to be key. I think we've done it we did it at practice yesterday where everyone brought out everyone has their individual chairs, and we had them bring the chair out, and we spread them out from one end basically to the other. And when we had our breaks, that's where they went. They went and sat in their chair. So, which helped us, and we put the sophomores and freshmen. You got to have individual water bottles as well, right? Yes, right? Exactly. Everyone brings their own water bottle. If not, we have water bottles that we give them, so they'll have. They have their name on it or something? No, once they pick it up, they keep it. Okay. Yeah. Once they get it, they keep it for the rest of the day, and we don't allow anyone back inside as well. So, so they have to really, if they need something, they can fill it. They have to fill it by themselves. Fill it back up, but no, they will have their own water bottles, which is tough. And I think I actually would like to order more so we can have them. We just got to make sure sometimes as we go through a season like this, or up against a season like this, is that you don't know what kind of funds you're going to have to buy those things. And then if you don't have the season or you don't have the gates that you're supposed to, then that can limit you on things you can buy. So I just got to be careful in the things we purchase early. Speaking of funding, that's another big giant to tackle right there, because I don't know, and maybe you can shed some light on this. I don't know about the fans in the stands. How will that work? That's going to be tough. I think we're still up in the air of how we're going to do that. I think it's up to the individual schools to do that, right? That's right. And I think right now you still got to welcome fans in, and if have a mask ordinance if you can, or say, look, we're going to be masked up, and if we can do that, I think we still remain safe, and people will feel somewhat safer in that environment. But how many people come out, we don't know. So it's how many fans are going to travel, how many fans are they going to allow to travel. So it's going to be something that we have to really work on and have something in concrete before the season starts.
Yeah, and it's not just important to the football team, but the band, they make a lot of their dollars off concessions and stuff, parking.
Yeah, so concession and parking is going to be another issue. How many people are going to show up to games? How much, because once again, we have to prepare as the season's starting and the season is normal, but the season's not going to be normal because of the amount of fans that you may not make the gate that you thought you may have in a normal situation. And we've already purchased, maybe spirit packs, it may be for footballs, and maybe things like that where, we may not have, we get to the season and, we start, January, we're in the negative, not negative, we try not to be negative, but you may not have as much money going in the off season as you would in the past. So we just got to be careful of what we spend.
Finally, this morning, even practice, normally you would have a parent to come by or somebody just dropping by to watch practice, and that's a little bit different this year.
It is definitely different. We've had a few parents stop by or people stop by, and I've had to, nicely, as nice as I can, and say, hey, look, you can't be here. Because normally I don't mind, as long as they don't make contact with players and coaches during practice, I don't mind. But now it's, hey, look, you can't be here. And it's weird because I've always welcomed parents to come by and because like I said, I'll coach your kid as hard as if you're in the stands, if you're not. So I want parents to be comfortable knowing that we're taking care of their kids emotionally and as best we can. But it is different not having those parents.
And you want to make all the friends you can coming in new to the neighborhood
I'm a new guy. That's right, new guy, and I want to make sure they understand that I'm for their kid, and I am for the athlete in Sylacauga. So we will build those relationships over time. But man, it's been different not being able to see as many parents around as I've done in the past.
Well, Coach, good luck this season, and we'll be talking again when we begin our Coach's Corner segment with you this year. And I know that you got a lot on your mind, a lot on your plate, as your assistant coaches do, and your football team, and these student athletes as well. So we wish you the best.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I got more Daybreak just ahead.